The Frankly Speaking Roof Cam, brought to you by Ball Security and Horseheads. Contact them today for all your business and home security needs. Welcome back to Frankly Speaking here on WYDC TV Big Fox. I'm your host, Frank Acomb. We are broadcasting from the Hesselson's studio, and in that studio, virtually, we're talking about the Book of Mormon. Thanks so much for being on the program.
Thank you so much for having me. Thank you.
Yeah, so tell us a little bit about the role that you play in the Book of Mormon.
Yeah, so I play Mafala Hatimbi, who is the father of Nabalungi, who we meet in the story. And basically, I'm this, you could say, village leader, but I would say the more thing that I have the most fun with is definitely playing adjacent to our Nabalungi charity, who's amazing. As a performer and an actor, and as my pseudo daughter, as I get to play along on stage, and it's a really good time. So I'm kind of just an additional piece to her journey and the journey of the story.
So when you first got this role, or were trying out for this role, and you realize that you're going to become a part of what is a worldwide brand, you look at this and, they send you the information called the best music of the century by New York Times, 9 Tony Awards. Is that overwhelming? What's that feel like?
This is we were just talking about it yesterday. It actually is the 15th anniversary year of the Book of Mormon, which is a huge milestone.
Yeah.
It's one of Broadway's longest running, at this point right now, one of Broadway's longest running musicals. And funny enough, my very first time seeing the show was back in 2018 at the Fox Theater in Atlanta, where I'm from. And I was just like blown away. I was laughing, I was having a good time.
Yeah.
And I just kind of left the theater never really thinking anything about it as far as like being a part of it and whatnot. At that point, I was just starting out professionally in theater in Atlanta primarily, and started kind of doing regional theater. And so I never really like put it in mind that I would ever get to do this. And so back in 22 is when I remember seeing it on Actors Access, and I submitted for it, ended up getting an audition, and so it just kind of just became this thing. I was like, whoa, wait a minute, I'm actually going to be in this thing that I've only seen once, and now this being my second go at it in a completely different capacity and different role, it's definitely kind of dawned on me that I've been a part of something that's really, really special and enjoyable, and people are really enjoying it across the country, and and bringing this across the country to those who can't make it to Broadway right now. So it's been really, really an amazing time.
And that's almost got to be surreal, almost like a bookend of getting to see it, and now you are in it and you're touring all these amazing theaters, just like you saw it in the amazing Fox Theater, the historic Fox Theater.
Yeah, no, it's something, and especially like going to different parts of the country that on my own I might not have explored. Like right now we're in San Luis Obispo right now, and so we were here a couple years ago, and I remember getting to explore, and so I'm going back to places that I either have been before or not, and getting to reintroduce myself to places that I liked, and coffee shops and eateries and things of that, and so, and also connecting with friends and family who live in these different places that I haven't seen for a while. So it's also like a coming together moment of a lot of different things and places and moments in my life. We did Duluth, Minnesota earlier, and that is actually where I shot my initial audition tape while I was working in town at one of their regional theaters. So going back, seeing friends who still live there and work there, and then getting to see the show and knowing that journey from working there in 22 to now, like being back. So it's moments like that I've really, really been grateful for, and having and sharing with various people that are connected to me.
What's it like going on the road? Because we think of touring, you sometimes think of musicians, and you've got the same kind of thing, right? You've got the cast, you've got all. So what's it like? I'm sure you didn't know all the cast before you got involved. What's it like touring with them?
It's like, it's almost like being in college a little bit. Like, you got these different people from all across the country, different ages and whatnot, different experiences, and we all kind of bring that together,
Yeah.
and we learn from each other. We, you know, are introduced to new things. I'm nicknamed Pawpaw because I'm one of the older
Oh my gosh.
cast members, and so they know, hey, if I'm not at this certain place, I'm probably asleep. Which, or but it's great. I mean, our cast and crew are phenomenal. They work so hard to bring this across the country,
Yeah.
and it's really a collaborative thing, which I think theater is always going to be about. It's not just what is happening on stage, but it's the things that are happening behind the scenes, from our musicians to our management team to our home office, and everyone, even our PR, partners.
Oh, sure.
Everybody collaboratively makes this thing what it is, and helps make it successfully tour across the
Yeah.
country. So just to be a part of that and collaborate in that way, it is a really like kind of shocking moment that, like I said, like you get to be a part of this big brand,
Yeah.
and kind of put your own energy and life into it. So it's really cool.
What was it that got you into acting originally?
Oh man, probably being a busybody kid that couldn't sit still.
Yeah.
I mean, I grew up singing. That was primarily my in. I can remember as like 4 or 5, like I started just kind of singing, and then I'm a big cartoon, like especially like the '90s cartoons,
Sure.
Tom and Jerry,
Yeah.
Looney Tunes, that kind of stuff. So I would mimic voices from the cartoons, and when Stitch came out, I would try to do Stitch and Goofy and Kermit and all these. And so then eventually, my church that I grew up in had its own like acting department
Oh
for
wow.
various
Yeah.
things and stuff like that, and even a summer acting camp that I was a part of. I want to say from the time I was in middle school to the time I graduated high school. And I would audition even like in the community. Like I remember Lion King had come through auditions. I went to that when I was still in high school. I went to a performing arts magnet program. So like it's kind of just always been there.
Sure.
And at one point, I almost didn't get into it, and almost went to college for mechanical engineering. And my mom was like, "Yeah, he said he want to go do this thing." So, but she was very supportive, and still is to this day. And so yeah, but I've had people champion me and training, and I'm trained. I always tell my students, whenever I'm working with younger actors, I'm like, even when I'm not working, I'm working on something.
Sure.
It's always kind of like working out. Like you're always going to be like trying to get better in some way, whether there's a job or not a job.
Yeah.
So even before I hopped on to Book of Mormon again, I was working on monologues or working on new songs and collaborating with artists. And so it really is a whole 360 of being an artist. It's not just what you're doing on the stage, but it's what you're doing off the stage. And I just took time to learn. But I would say it's a lot of influential people who kind of got me here
Yeah.
in my life that really, made sure I was, taken care of. I had gas money, helping me get to auditions.
Sure.
I've had people like give me buddy passes to go to New York, kind of thing.
Yeah.
So I've had a village of people who really like support this journey. So it's been great.
Sounds a little different than mechanical engineering.
Much, much, much different. I still use my nerdy brain,
Yeah, just in a different way.
various different, very different ways. But who knows? Maybe that I was jokingly talking to somebody the other day about. I was like, yeah, whenever I decide that I want to take a break, I think my second act might be culinary. Who knows?
Hey,
I
why not?
love cooking.
Yeah.
So I'm like, hey, the possibilities are endless. So.
Wow. Lofty goals, all these goals. I feel kind of lazy right now.
Look, I just try to write it down as much as I can. Okay, I want to accomplish this
Yeah.
and this and this and this, but but I try to put that dedication into as much as I can. Both, like I said, both on the stage and off the stage, whenever possible.
What do you think, for us that will never have this experience, what do you think it is that you enjoy most about performing, either in the Book of Mormon or just in general, when you go out every night?
I think there was a moment a couple shows ago, and I remember I was on stage, and I have this moment where I kind of look out. I have an opportunity to to look out for just a split second. And it's the moment of um, seeing the audience having a shared experience,
Yeah.
laughing and enjoying, and that is community.
Yeah.
That's a
Hmm.
huge thing to experience in real time.
Yeah.
And I think that's what the arts are about, honestly. Like, I remember growing up, I always talked about like music, no matter what language you speak, music is a universal
Sure.
language
Hmm.
that we all speak.
Hmm.
And I think in the state of how things are going in the world and everything, it seems divisive, but there are moments when none of the things
Right.
that might divide us matter.
Hmm.
And a lot of times that happens in the theater. It
Hmm.
happens in art spaces where everyone's kind of on this same wavelength, we're on the
Yeah.
same kind of vibration of everything. That's what I live for. So that's what makes performing. And sometimes it's in intimate spaces. Like I love doing every once in a while doing cabarets.
All right.
Because it's very much just you, a piano, maybe a couple more musicians, and an audience.
Right.
There's no oh well, I write a script kind of whenever I'm doing it, just so I know where I'm driving things. But it's so intimate, and you get to talk about different things, and but everyone's kind of having this shared thing, and I think that's what always draws me back to performing when it's an opportunity to, in my mind, I always think about, like I said, I grew up in the church. So I always think about it's a ministry in itself,
Sure.
on how you collaboratively have this experience, build this community for 2.5 hours,
Right.
and you leave people better than when they came in.
Yeah.
So that's kind of that's the check I'm looking for every time is like, how did people feel once they left
Right.
than when they came in? And that's a change I hope everyone experiences.
Well, and I would say with the Book of Mormon, it's also interesting because you've got music, but you also got the humor, which adds an extra part to that audience
Yeah.
interaction, right?
It does. It does. I love a good comedy.
Oh yeah.
I always I grew up with sneakily watching Richard Pryor
Of
and
course.
Red Fox and Eddie Murphy and all these great. Harlem Nights is one of my favorite
Yeah.
movies. Like, but you see like how comedy and especially like sitcoms, really really good sitcoms,
Hmm.
stand the test of time.
Right.
Like you could rewatch a sitcom. I always watch like New Girl and stuff like that, but it's something about a comedy that delivers a message in a way that is humorous but still gets to the point.
Right.
um and we see a lot of this. I was watching after the show, one of my favorite shows that I'm watching right now is Shrinking.
Okay.
And
Yeah.
it's Jason Segel
Oh,
and
okay. Yeah.
Harrison Ford and
Yeah.
all these people, and it's a comedy drama, but the points that they're driving home is cleverly veiled through like good comedy and good
Right.
moments, but there's a message behind it. And I think that's what Book of Mormon has. It's like people get wrapped up in the comedy of it all at a
Sure.
certain point, but there is a message about community
Hmm.
and about heart and about togetherness at a certain point. And that's what I'm hoping people really lock into once they leave. It's like, oh, okay, now I get it.
Yeah.
Like when you're riding home and everything kind of rushes to you at one point, it's like, oh, that's what that was about.
Yeah. Do you think that's
So
why it's been around for so long? Because it does offer that every night?
I do, and I think I mean, like I said, this thing's been 15 years, so
That's why.
there's got to be something,
Yeah, right.
and there got to be a secret sauce
Yeah.
somewhere. But I think there is a need for humor, even when tackling issues and things that might be a little heavy.
Yeah. Sure.
I always jokingly say at a certain point I'm like a terrible person at funerals because I'm going to find a humorous way
Sure.
to tackle it.
Right.
And so, but that's life. You got to have the light with the dark, and
Sure.
they complement each other in a very, complementary way. But I do think that's what people yearn for in times of heaviness. Because I want to laugh when I'm having
Of course.
a terrible day. I'm like, I need to find a comedy. I don't
Right.
want anything too serious,
Exactly.
but I want something that
Hmm.
kind of levies like what I'm feeling, what I'm experiencing in my own life. Um, and it does make it better. Or just having a good laugh with a friend. Like there's so many ways to kind of take off what's heavy,
Yeah.
and I think that show kind of allows people to do that because it's just outrageously ridiculous humor happening, and like I said, it's good singing and amazing music and amazing acting, and like I said, our cast and our crew do a phenomenal job of putting it out every night, and I'm always amazed at like the comedic moments that of course we rehearse and things happen, but it's also sometimes the unknown if like one thing happens and it was unexpected and it's still hilarious and even more hilarious than it was before. And
Right.
so those are, everything's very fresh and very like yes and kind of mentality with our group. So I'm hoping people are ready for a treat when we come March 18th and March 19th.
Perfect. Nice plug right there at the end. I love that.
Hey,
ClemensCenter.org. That's how a pro does it.
hey.
Just before we go, how do you prepare every night? Because this must get kind of tiring at points. How do you prepare each night?
I do. Well, it's funny you say that. So we have a show tonight here in town at 7:30. I've been up since 7 because I hit the gym at like 8.
Yeah.
I do about hour 15 minutes with one of my castmates. We just started going together. I kind of just take it easy. I kind of like don't do too much. I check in on some things that I'm working on, or if I'm thinking about going to the movies maybe today because why not?
Yeah.
And that kind of thing. So I kind of like take it slow, and then once we're at the theater, I try to warm up my body. So that's a lot of foam rolling, a lot of Theragunning, a lot
Sure.
of little minor things to really get the body ready, and then just hydrate, and eat a good meal. I try to have a nice little pre-show meal that's not too heavy, but like
Sure.
keeps me energized enough. But also in those moments, I always the audience gives me that little extra
Yeah, well, yeah.
when I get out there. So I'm like, okay, I've done everything I can. I'm gonna do what I can on stage, and then once I start, interacting with people on stage and hearing the audience and they're involved, I was like, okay, I got
Yeah.
my extra win. So, but I'm looking forward to like I said, being in town March 18th and 19th. I know the cast is too,
Well,
and
good.
we'll see you guys soon.
Well, yes, coming to Elmira at the Clemens Center, March 18th and 19th. Thank you for giving us so much time. Best of luck. This has been great.
Thank you so much. I appreciate the time.
All right. Have fun here in Elmira. We look forward
I
to seeing
will.
you.
Thank you.
All right.
Thank
Stay
you.
with us. We'll be right back with Frankly Speaking after this.